So students, today we are going to talk about circulation and later we'll talk about continue with the exchange of gases. So circulatory system. See, why circulation? First question arises that why circulation is required. Sometimes this is also called transport system of the body. So circulation or transport means almost the same. That is, circulation is precisely for transport of materials across the body. What happens that initially when body of animal was small, like in cnidarians, like in sponges, there's a small body, only two layers of cells, and transport of materials across the body was actually easy. That's why they were having simple those gastrovascular cavities through which all the exchanges takes place. But as body of the animal become complex, then organisms when they have to exchange the materials between different parts of the body and cells or tissues, or with sometimes they have to exchange materials with the environment, it becomes difficult. So circulatory system also evolved to deal with the difficult situations and become more complex, of course. So every organism must, so why circulation or transport of materials is required? Every organism must exchange materials with the environment. First thing, then that exchange ultimately occur at the cellular level, which are also very important. Different types of exchanges, because every cell is living in an environment where there are more cells, there are extracellular fluids, and they have to deal with all of them. So exchanges ultimately occur at the cellular level, whether with the environment, whether with the other cells or the fluids of the body. In unicellular organisms, unicellular mean which consist of one cell, these exchanges occur directly with the environment because there is only one cell. When they become multicellular, there are many cells like sponges which have two layers of cells. They also have to exchange environment materials with the environment. So that's why circulatory system is required, and it is evolved for complexity, more complex. So simple the animal's body, simple the circulatory system, complex the animal body, complex the circulatory system. So circulation and exchange. So for most cells making up multicellular organisms, direct exchange with the environment is not possible. Now what happens that if we look at even sponges which are having very simple body, or cnidarians or platyhelminthes or so, which are having very simple bodies, the cell layer which is outside like ectoderm can exchange directly with the environment, but inside the endoderm, which is present inside the body, cannot directly exchange. So when water enters then inside the body, then they can. So when animals become more complex, this is also this becomes increasingly difficult to exchange things with the environment. That's why a system of circulatory fluid is required, like blood. Now, gills are an example of a specialized exchange system in animals. We know that fishes, we all know that fishes do have gills. Now, gills are basically folds of the body at a particular area in the thoracic area, which are for exchange of um, uh, different types, exchange of basically different type of gases or so with the water. As water passes through gills, and gills are enriched with blood capillaries, and those the blood is circulated against the flow of the water. So flow of the water is in one direction, and flow of the blood in gills in the other is in the other direction, and that's how exchange of materials they take place. Now the internal transport and gas exchange are functionally related in most animals. So transport system and gas exchange, they are functionally related because definitely gases will be exchanged by transport of materials inside. So circulatory system, in other words, should have one generally propelling organ, that is a pumping organ, the heart, and the vessels, the system of tubes which exchange the water. Except for some of the organisms do have what we call an open circulatory system, though it is not completely open because there are certain tubes, and for some time blood has to come out of those vessels. So that's why we call them open circulatory, having open circulatory. We'll talk about them later when we come. We go ahead. So circulation and exchange. Continue with that. Circulatory systems link exchange surfaces with cells throughout the body. So circulatory system basically we can say is just like roads are connecting the cities, roads are connecting the areas. Just like that, those system of tubes and canals, they are connecting different parts of the body for any type of exchanges to be take place. In small and other and or maybe thin animals, cells can exchange materials directly with the surrounding medium. As we have said, unicellular organism, we know these cnidarians and sponges. Then in most of the animal, transport system basically connect the organ of exchange with the body cells. So ultimately, that circulatory system is basically, its purpose is exchange of materials. That's the gist of all these things. Most complex animals have internal transport system that circulate uh, fluids basically, like blood. Because some medium is required. Though insects do have directly air, they have circulatory. They do not have circulatory fluid, but many of the insects do have air for exchange of gases. Directly, they have tubes in which air circulates, and that is required for exchange of gases. Though other exchanges take place by a system of blood too. So there is a dual system. Now let's talk about a few examples of course we cannot talk about all the system because there are so many animals, they have different types of systems, but we will talk about some important ones. So gastrovascular cavity is one system. We already I think have talked about them. The simpler animals like cnidarians and sponges, they have a body wall that is only 2 cell thick. Basically we know they are having ectoderm and endoderm, they are having 2 body layers basically. This cavity functions in both digestion and distribution of substances throughout the body. Now what happened that inside of the body do have a cavity, and that cavity in which what happened that water enters and then water leaves. So when water enters inside, then exchange of materials takes place. Now those could be digestive material, excretory material, gases or everything. They directly can exchange. Like for example, subcnidarian like jellyfishes, they have elaborated gastrovascular cavities. That is because sometimes they are having more comparatively complex body which is organized in a more complex way. Then they have more elaborated gastrovascular cavities. That is, their shapes are different. There are different shapes of gastrovascular cavities, not a straight vase like shape, but there are different shapes. Flatworms, they also have a gastrovascular cavity, as you can see here. They are having a gastrovascular cavity inside and a large surface area to volume ratio. So basically, for exchange of gases, because their body is flattened, they have more large surface area to volume ratio basically, because surface area is, because they are very thin, surface area is larger and overall body volume is lesser. So these are for exchange of materials, but directly with the water because they are aquatic organisms. Now the second type of system, which is a system of vessels, hardened vessels. Um, that is the system. The circulatory system consists of a heart that has to propel, or we can say pump blood, and then the vessels which distribute blood or circulatory fluid, what we can say. So there are 2 types of these circulatory systems, open and closed. Now more complex animals have either open or closed circulatory system. Both systems have these basic components, the 3 main components. That is a circulatory fluid, blood or hemolymph. Circulatory fluid should be there because for exchange of materials, there is a need that there is some kind of medium which is available for exchange of materials. That is circulatory fluid. Though in insects, this is directly the air. Air acts as a medium, but mostly this is a fluid medium, blood or hemolymph. a set of tubes, that is blood vessels. Of course, for just, roads are required to transport things, just like that there are tubes, we call them blood vessels. A muscular pump, a propelling organ should be there which push the blood towards these vessels and distribute it and collect it back, that is the muscular pump, the heart. These three things should be there in a circulatory system. Now in insects, another arthropod, most mollusks, blood baths the organs directly in an open circulatory system. So open circulatory system, that is, there is no distinction between blood and interstitial fluid, and this general body fluid is more correctly called hemolymph. We do not directly call it blood. Number one, it is not having specific red pigments, one thing, and second is that there is no distinction between the blood, the circulatory fluid, and the interstitial fluid, because in an open system they mix up simply. So that's why we simply call them hemolymph, this kind of fluid, hemolymph. Now what happened at closed circulatory? It means that open means that blood will come out of the vessels for some time and then go back to the vessels. So that's why we call it open circulatory system, that blood will come out, a hemolymph will come out. Now in a closed circulatory system, the blood is confined to the vessels. This is most important, that in closed circulatory system mean that blood is confined inside the vessels. So blood will be there in the vessels only and is distinct from interstitial fluid, because it is there in the tubes or the vessels. This will not mix up with the interstitial fluid. So closed circulatory system are more efficient at transporting the circulatory fluids to the tissues and cells and so on. Very simple, because for an open circulatory system there should be very simple tissues or cells, the whole system, because it is not actually going to each and every part. It's difficult. The blood vessels can go to any part of the body, even it is more complex and deep or so. You see, if you look at the concept of depth, there is more thicker or bigger tissue, then entering inside is difficult for hemolymph and vessels can go over there. So that's why more complex organisms generally have closed type. So have a look on this open circulatory system versus closed. In an insect, open circulatory system is there. In Annelida, like earthworm, there is closed. So here you can see open. The heart pushes the blood and it goes towards the vessels, and then vessels are open on the other end. It now enters the body cavity. In the body cavity, it baths all the tissues surrounding area, and then this here you can see in this place in the organism, and then due to a contraction of abdominal muscles, it goes back into the heart, and then again it is pushed back and like. So this is how it works. In closed circulatory system, however, here you can see system of vessels is closed. The blood is not coming out. So heart pushes the blood in one direction. It goes, makes branches, passes through all parts of the body, and then come back to the heart. But it is still there inside the vessels when it is being transported. And that's the comparison of open and transport. Here you can see, here propelling organs, hearts, pushing the blood going towards all parts of the body, coming back to the heart, and then this cycle continues. Now, we talk about vertebrate closed circulatory system, of course, more complex. Humans and other vertebrates are very complex animals, and that's why they are having more complex circulatory system, which is closed one, and we call it cardiovascular system because there is a complex heart as well. We will talk about in next part of the video about this system in detail. But there are three main types of blood vessels which are there. I mean, there's heart, of course, and then arteries, veins, and capillaries. There are three types of vessels. We will talk about in detail about these heart and vessels in next part of the video. So thank you for watching, and you can post your questions or anything if you have later in a group or WhatsApp group or maybe on chat. Thank you.